Hello there, YouTube. It is your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we're looking at another DC Comics book, continuing our reviews of the Bendis Superman run. It is Superman Volume 2, The Unity Saga, House of L. So this is the... Oh, excuse me, I'm suddenly all gassy. Second Unity Saga book. And let me read you the back of the book real quick. Superboy returns! John Kent, the son of Superman and Lois Lane, has returned from the stars, along with his grandfather, Jor-El. But a new costume isn't all that's changed about Superboy, and the Man of Steel's world may never be the same after Superman the Unity Saga, the House of L. Superboy has unexpected revelations for his parents about what he's learned from Jor-El during their time away, encounters with intergalactic bounty hunter Lobo, the other earthly crime syndicate, and even the Green Lantern Corps are just part of what John has dealt with. Now Superman must get personally involved in the outer space war his son and father may have caused. But what's the truth behind Jor-El's agenda? And how will Superman, with help from Supergirl and Krypto, respond to the threat of Rogal Zor and General Zod? Best-selling writer Brian Michael Bendis from Jessica Jones and Ultimate Spider-Man continues his bold new take on comics' greatest superhero with artists Ivan Reis from Justice League and Aquaman and Brandon Peterson from Uncanny X-Men and Green Lanterns in Superman the Unity Saga House of L, collecting the unforgettable Superman number 7 through 15. Now, remember I said that I quite enjoyed Volume 1. I didn't expect to because I really didn't like the Man of Steel miniseries that bridged the Tomasi Gleason run in this one. And then this book I didn't really like. I didn't like this book. Sorry. So John comes back. He's aged up. I think that was just a bad decision narratively. I really wanted to watch Jonathan Kent grow up like I watched Dick Grayson grow up, like I watched Jason Todd grow up, like I watched Spider-Man grow up, you know? I wanted to watch him do the same. But no, we just get like 7 years tacked on to him or whatever, I don't know. And even though we got the Son of Kal-El book out of it, which I still need to review, but I have read Volume 1 and I loved it. And I still love Jonathan Kent as a character, even with this change. But I would have just really liked to see him grow up. I don't know, maybe the Son of Kal-El stuff could have been alternate future or Elseworlds, I don't know, but I just wanted to watch the guy grow up, I'm sorry. And then Superman keeps, like, asking him what happened, and Jonathan keeps, like, delaying answering and repeating himself and stuff, and it just seems like a way to extend the story longer than it needs to be extended, I feel like. And it's just got a fuck ton of Bendis speak. Oh my goddamn shit. Like, I know I might repeat myself or harp on points or something when I'm just talking about the book, but you know, I have ADHD and I'm just kind of, this isn't a scripted review. I'm just kind of, it's just more like a fireside chat, you know what I mean? It's more like I'm chatting with a book to a friend. That's usually how I make these. Just a nice something that you guys can sit down and listen to while you eat, you know? But this is like a book with a team and editors and multiple drafts. And it's like, holy shit, some of this dialogue is unbearable. But there are some like funny moments and stuff though. And the art is good. The art is genuinely good throughout. I like the color choices. I like all the art. In every aspect, I think the art looks great. I like Jor-El's colors and stuff. Like, everything around Jor-El is always kind of green. Like, he doesn't have the normal House of L colors because he's kind of set aside from it now. I think that's really interesting. But, like, Jor-El and Jonathan Kent are all, like, out saving the world, but Lois leaves him. And Lobo's there. They mentions him on the back like he's going to be a big deal, but Lobo's in it for, like, 2 pages. So it's barely anything, to be honest. It really is. And then John kind of realizes that Jor-El is absolutely batshit insane. You know, and Jor-El is being like real creepy and possessive of him, and it's very odd. You know, Mongol's in it. Mongol is seems like is getting more and more important. Not this Mongol, because, Volume 3 happens. We'll see. But, yeah. Anyways, John also has a very small Green Lantern interaction with Kilowog and Orisa. Once again, 2 pages. Well, actually, I think it's probably more like 3 pages. I'm looking at it right now. It's 3 pages. So, okay. Whatever. But then, this black hole happens. John gets lost in time and space. He ends up on Earth 3. And, I actually kind of like how this Earth 3 stuff is described. Because Ultraman takes him, doesn't kill him, and Ultraman kind of turns him into an outlet. Like, he hits him and stuff some, but he doesn't... He mostly just tortures him mentally. Not to say that physical abuse isn't also mental abuse, because it is. But then we also see, like, more flash forwards to what we saw before with the House of Zod and the House of El making amends and stuff and making, like, a utopia, a new Krypton. But yeah, John is stuck on Earth 3 with the crime syndicate, a very New 52-looking crime syndicate specifically. But this isn't exactly what I feel like they look like currently, usually. This isn't what they look like post-Infinite Frontier, usually, is it? I don't know. I don't even remember. This book was before Infinite Frontier, right? Yeah, so the New 52 crime syndicate makes more sense. But, John loses his powers relatively quickly on this planet because Ultraman gets his powers from kryptonite and sunlight makes him weaker. So Ultraman has created a permanent eclipse, just like, in Forever Evil. So John's losing powers, but he has, like, just enough, this tiny little bit of powers that he can survive in this volcano prison that Ultraman puts him in, and Ultraman kind of, like, uses him as a therapist, as I said, kind of cries in front of him and stuff. Like, that's his escape. Very interesting. But John knew that after Ultraman would cry while ranting to him, then he wouldn't see Ultraman for a while, even for food. So that was his time to use what little power he had left to escape. And he did, and he was surviving on Earth 3, the most evil Earth, by himself, until he was attacked by Superwoman, who, is Lois Lane on Earth 3. She was drunk and insane. Really wild. But eventually Jor-El does find him, and Jor-El has aged a lot, seemingly even more. Excuse me, than John has. Jor-El's made some deals that are going to come back to bite him into the butt in order to find John. Rogal Zar shows up to fight. All kinds of insanity. So we know Rogal Zar is now out of the Phantom Zone. And then John and Superman get teleported to Jor-El's ship, which is being attacked by multiple different space armies all at once. And eventually we find out they're trying to silence him because of what he knows. We see Zod join Rogal Zar, but, Zod is kind of doing it more to get out of the Phantom Zone and learn the truth than anything else. He doesn't actually want to join Rogal Zar. But we see some good, like, hopeful stuff with Superman and how those in the galaxy see him and things like that. Like, a lot of the hopeful stuff Bendis can really figure out. But, I don't know, sometimes... I don't know, I just have so many mixed feelings on this run, because I have read ahead a little bit, too. A lot of mixed feelings. But Supergirl shows up with Rogal Zar's power staff, and she has Krypto, and she's learned the truth about Krypton's demise, that it was intentionally destroyed, and was not a natural disaster. Which... I think I've said this before. That makes it feel lesser. Does that make sense? Rogal Zar did destroy Krypton at the behest of this secret society that Jor-El was a part of. And here's the thing. To me, that kind of lessens this metaphor, because it's like no one listened to the scientists that said this catastrophe was coming, and it could have been stopped. The people could have at least been saved, even if the planet couldn't have been, but nobody listened because it was more convenient not to at the time. And short-term stuff mattered more to the people, which is, and kind of always has been, very relevant to our current world, whether we were talking about war, or I guess the most important one at the time of recording this, global climate change, which is going to eventually Krypton us out of existence if we don't, do something about it. Maybe not Krypton our planet out of existence, but Krypton our species and the world we know out of existence for sure. But now that metaphor is messed up. I mean, you could still say, corporations are still intentionally destroying the planet. They know they're doing it, but that's not really the same as this. I don't know. But eventually this... Oh, and we get a really cute interaction between Crypto and John, who haven't seen each other in a long time. And they go super speed during a battle so they can have a moment together without the fighting. It's actually really cute. But we get to see, the L family reunite. Jor-El finally gets thrown back into his bad guy role, but Zod kind of joins him a bit more. And then Jor-El takes them to Krypton's graveyard. And Jor-El's like, hey bud, don't go out there. Because this is all kryptonite. You will die. You will die within seconds. You'll be poisoned, and within minutes, you'll be dead. We get flashbacks to Jor-El and secret society stuff, and how Krypton's demise was kind of his fault, and not, the opposite, like we always thought. Oops. And then Lex Luthor gives Lois Lane something. Kind of a way to torture her, almost. Pretty insane. Now that I think about it, this was before Infinite Frontier, because this is Scott Snyder, Justice League, Lex Luthor. So yeah, I was right about that. This was pre-Infinite Frontier. And then we see the House of El and the House of Zod gather a representative from all the planets in the galaxy. And then, it flashes back to them fighting Rogal Zar. And we find out Rogal Zar is Kryptonian. And you're just like, huh? He don't look Kryptonian. But it turns out Jor-El did experiments on him to power him up, to make him this super soldier monster, and then sent him out on assassination missions and stuff for this secret society that he was a part of. And then he got powered up by the yellow sun, so he's stronger, far stronger than a normal Kryptonian. So that's why Superman had such trouble with him. But yeah, Superman does end up saving Zod and Rogal Zar, and Jonathan Kent actually does something very, very interesting. He creates a UN of space, which is what the Legion of Superheroes, works for in the future. And I'm not the biggest Legion fan, but, it creates Unity Day. And we got this unified planets. And we got Adam Strange there, and it seems like they're going to execute Jor-El, but not by, chopping his head off. They're going to send him back in time to where he's supposed to be, where Dr. Manhattan plucked him from, and just let him die on Krypton. But before he does, he tells him his past self, he does it. He brings the universe together. He does it. So that Jor-El, his past and present self, die, knowing that the universe is at peace because of his son. It's actually really nice. So even though this wasn't my favorite volume, I just don't... Bendis' writing style in it is so unbearable. The things that happen aren't. It's just in the writing style. And I don't like Jonathan being aged up. But, all this really hopeful stuff that happens, that is good. It's just Bendis' writing style. I'm sorry. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. I will be reviewing more soon, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.